the best thing happened ever to us, because she believed, not her, but the entire population of this Nordic magician, that he is the magician of the highest order.
Donald Trump is actively practicing dark magic right in front of us. Famous occultist Marina Abramovich literally called him a magician of the highest order who creates confusion to bring a new order. Just look at the Magician Tarot card. The figure wears a white gown and a red cloak, pointing to the sky and earth to symbolize as above, so below. Trump recently posted imagery wearing these exact colors, playing this exact role. But here is the catch. When the Magician card is reversed, it stands for manipulation and trickery. The dark side always flips things upside down, and this reversed magic is exactly the spell being cast on the public right now. Donald Trump is intentionally playing the role of a dark magician to bring absolute chaos to the American empire. In tarot, the Magician card represents manifestation and power, but reversed, it stands for manipulation, scattered energy, and total self-sabotage. That is exactly the energy surrounding his political run. He is acting as the ultimate agent of confusion to flip the system upside down. Empires historically collapse after 250 years, and America is right at that expiration date. Between this intentional internal division and the rest of the world quietly shifting away from the US dollar, the foundation is cracking. We are watching the final days of a superpower being dismantled from the inside out.
This is why I called Trump, even in the Illuminati card game video, the Dark Magician, because that is the role that the Dark Magician is playing, right? Now, does it make sense? It's literally the exact same outfit. In that video from 8 months ago, this is the card we talked about. Part of the reason we talked about this card, let me move this banner. Part of the reason we talked about this card was because a woman by the name of Sabrina Abramovich, who is a witch, quite literally, she actually gave us her thoughts on Donald Trump. Sabrina Abramovich is one of those people who is doing rituals out in the open with people like Jay-Z, right? She's connected to a lot of parties where they make cakes that look like bodies, human bodies in blood, right? There's photos out there, there's pictures out there and videos out there of her parties. I can't show them on YouTube, even though they're cakes, but it's extremely disgusting. But I want you all to take a listen to what she had to say about who Donald Trump is and the role that he's playing.
It's the best thing happened ever to us, because she believed, not her, but the entire population of this Nordic magician, that he is the magician of the highest order, that he is there in his irrational mind to create confusion in order that the human being can find new order. And it's not so stupid thinking about this in that way.
I just to share with you one really funny opinion, but there is in Lapland there is a group of the shamans there who do something called collective dreaming. They will go together in seclusion and do the rituals with eating very little food and being in a...
And I actually misspoke. Her first name is not Sabrina, it's Maria Abramovich. Maria Abramovich. You all heard what she said out of her own mouth. Do your homework on her. We've talked about her many times over the years on this channel. This is definitely a witch that participates in occultism. And I've said before, I've been saying Donald Trump is not a Christian. That's not a hot take. I'm going to go a step further to something that may be a hot take. Donald Trump is an occultist, allegedly, that he practiced the occult. I believe he practices dark magic, and that shouldn't come as a shock to a lot of you all at all. That does not mean that he can't do some things that we deem to be good. It's not what that means at all. You understand? It's not what that means at all, right? This is the magician, right? There's something, this right here, for those of you that don't know, it's the tarot card, right? And this card right here in particular is called the Magician Tarot card. Now we're going to go somewhere and read what this card is about. And I'm going to tell you why the post that Donald Trump posted, or that he uploaded and then will later delete, the purpose of him posting it when he did. It's not a coincidence that he's in red and white, but we like to read over here. So let's go. Let me take you all over here and we're going to read this together about the definition and the meaning behind the Magician Tarot card. All right, boom. So it says the Magician Tarot card. The Magician Tarot card meaning, there's the card there, as above, so below. You see that one hand up in the air, one hand down. That's as above, so below, which is once again the Baphomet. That's Freemasonry, duality. We see the pentagram here on the table, but let's and it says magician at the bottom. Let's read a little bit about this card. This is extremely important and it's going to help you understand why Trump posted what he did. It says the Magician Tarot card represents manifestation and turning ideas into reality. He is the first archetype the Fool encounters in the major arcana or arcana, and he brings the message: you already have everything you need to begin. Now is the time to take focused action. On the card, the magician stands at an altar surrounded by the four suits of the minor arcana: the wand, cup, sword, and pentacle. Every symbol on this card speaks to creative force, alignment, and personal power. These items, for instance, are used regularly in witchcraft and magic and represent the elements fire, water, air, and earth. The magician points his right arm and hand towards the sky and his left towards the earth, embodying the Hermetic principle: as above, so below. All right, gonna read that again. The magician points his right arm and hand towards the sky, and which Trump was in the sky, by the way, and his left towards the earth, which that can, from the picture that Trump posted, and I'll bring it back up here in a moment. The people, to me, how I interpret this, the people are from earth. Trump is in the sky. That's as above, so below there alone, right? Embodying the Hermetic principle: as above, so below. Above his head is the infinity symbol, signifying limitless potential. You'll see this again on the strength card. He also wears a white gown for spirituality and a red cloak symbolizing will. All of this represents his connection between the spiritual and material worlds and his ability to take an idea and manifest it into reality. All right. So the magician keywords, upright keywords, is manifestation, possibility, willpower, skill, personal power. Reverse keywords: manipulation, scattered energy, illusion, misuse of power, self-doubt. Keep that in mind. We're going to come back to that. So the magician, all right, here's the card here. All right. It says upright. This stands for manifestation, personal power, skill, resourceful, infinite potential. But when it's reversed, it means not using the talent, not using your talent, ignoring your potential, manipulation, getting in own's way, trickery. Why is this important with this card? We're going to come back to that in just a moment. Upright magician tarot card meaning: the magician arrives in a tarot reading when it's time for you to act. You took the leap with the Fool and gathered the tools of knowledge, resources, and intuition. Now you're ready to bring your vision into form. This card is all about focused manifestation and using what you already have to create what you want. Okay, this is not a time for passive wishing. The magician encourages you to align your thoughts, words, and actions with your intention. The universe will meet you halfway, but you must take the first step. Okay. Career and finances. Career-wise, the magician suggests a powerful time for creative pursuits, launching new ideas, showcasing your talent, or stepping into leadership. You have the tools. Now show the world what you can do. This is a card of visibility and influence, right? But the reverse magician tarot card meaning is when the magician appears reversed. It often indicates either you're not using your power or you're using it for self-sabotage or in an ineffective way. It also can indicate a lack of focus, scattered energy, and self-doubt in your abilities. The reversal can also point to manipulation, either by you or someone else. I'm going to show you why this is extremely important. So this is important because I have reason to believe that Donald Trump, as I just said, practices dark magic. And one could even go as far to say Satanism. What does, quote unquote, the devil, what does, quote unquote, Satan like to do with anything that is of God? He likes to do the opposite. He likes to flip it upside down.
A bizarre card game from 1981 literally predicted every major world event of our lifetime. Steve Jackson created the Illuminati card game decades ago, and it is the ultimate proof of predictive programming. There is an enough is enough card showing a sniper targeting a guy who looks exactly like Trump. The crazy part is Trump used that exact phrase right before recent events. The game even has an epidemic card showing the CDC and global lockdowns way back in the 80s. None of this is a coincidence. The people in power are just playing a massive game. We are basically living in a pre-planned simulation, and they are flashing the playbook right in our faces.